Aloha mai kako, and welcome back to the Share the Poi podcast. For our last episode of Share the Poi, we have three very special guests. They are students at Kamehameha Schools, Damon Nagata, Elle Ayat, and Jaydan Borling-Lewi. Welcome, guys. How are we all feeling today?
Excited.
Good.
Good.
Okay, so can we start by getting each of you to give a little introduction about yourselves, family, and like future goals?
So I'm Jaydan. I come from Pitt-Rivers. I've been attending Kamehameha Schools since kindergarten, and I'm aspiring to be an engineer.
Aloha, my name is Elle, and I live in Waimea. I'm also a lifer here at Kamehameha Schools, and I aspire to be an orthodontist.
Aloha, my name is Damon Nagata. I'm from Waikeuka. I'm also a lifer, and I've been here since kindergarten. Well, I'm aspiring to go to college and possibly major in a STEM field.
So we have all lifers over here. Wow.
What about you?
Oh. Not quite a lifer, but, you know, I'm in spirit a lifer. Okay, so I don't know if everyone knows, but I know that you guys went on the Oxford study trip this past summer. So can you guys share why you wanted to apply for it in the first place?
Yeah, I'll go first, I guess. So at first when I saw it, I just thought it was an amazing opportunity. I mean, I read the email that got sent out, and it was whoa, 5 weeks or around there in Oxford doing an internship at a museum. It just seemed cool to me, you know?
Yeah, so I also was very interested in traveling outside the country because we earlier that year we went to the East Coast tour. So I just wanted to take that opportunity to travel, and then also seeing what we would be doing up there. Just researching within the museum seemed very interesting to me.
Kind of similar to Elle. I was just excited to go outside of the U.S. because I've never been outside the U.S. And I also wanted to just learn more about myself and see how I can explore engineering in a different area.
Wow. So what made you most excited, and what made you most nervous before leaving abroad?
I guess something that made me the most excited was seeing how I was able to live without having immediate family with me, seeing how life could possibly be when I'm in college, because I want to go somewhere in the continent, possibly East Coast, because I also went on the East Coast college tour. So that was something I was excited for. I mean, on the other hand, I was also nervous because I don't know, before the trip, how I would react and if I would be able to live by myself or with other people my own age. But it was actually pretty fun, and it went well.
Something that excited me was definitely learning in a different setting than I'm used to. So traveling to a different environment is what excited me. Oh, but it also made me nervous because it was a 5-week program, and that's probably the longest I've been away with my family. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what I was nervous about too, because similar to them, I was on the college tour, and that's the longest I've ever been away from my family, and the furthest. And so traveling to the other side of the world, that was something I was really nervous about.
So Jaydan, you mentioned that was your first time being out of the country. Was that any of your guys' first time being out of the country?
Yes, that was my first time out of the country.
No, it was not my first time, but I've been to parts of Asia, but first time in Europe.
So then for Elle and Jaydan, since this is your first time traveling outside of the country, how did it feel being so far from home, and how did that affect your cultural identity and possibly connection?
It was definitely different. It's a different environment, but I didn't feel as out of place as I thought I would, because I feel Oxford is such a diverse place, and there's so many different cultures that I didn't feel like completely out of place.
Yeah, same with me. I've noticed when we went to Oxford, there was like so much different ethnicities that were like that lived there. And so I didn't feel that much out of place. And since we spent most of our time within the museum, it was very like indigenous artifacts all around us. So like I didn't feel that out of place.
And for you, Damon, since this wasn't your first time out of the country and you've been around Asia, like how would you say it was similar or different from your other time being abroad?
It was definitely different because when I went to Japan and I also went to China before, but it was with my family. So, and it wasn't really like research, it was just for leisure, like just for fun, just to go. But I guess in Oxford, it was more intense, meaning that we were actually waking up early every day, doing work, and then going to sleep pretty late at nights. So it was actually it was definitely more intense, I would say, but it was great.
So can you guys go into like more detail about what the study trip was like what kind of classes or activities you guys did there?
We actually did, we're like a part of, or we sat in on a lot of master classes that were called. A professor or someone was like flown in to teach us. So we had a master class on ivory.
Yes, we did.
Ivory. What was the other ones?
We had one on photogrammetry.
Photogrammetry.
We
What
talked
is
about
that?
We had that class and we like take a whole bunch of photos of like artifacts, and then using those photos we can like convert them into like 3D models that you can access online.
Okay, so then can you give like a routine, like a daily routine, like throughout your day? What did you do from like the beginning to the end?
Okay, I guess we woke up early and me, Jayden, and Ethan, we went running every single morning.
Really?
Every single morning. And then after that, we went back to, so the boys and the girls had like a different house. And like, it was, how far walk? Maybe like, bro, like five minute walk.
6.
Yeah.
Wasn't that long?
It wasn't that long of a walk. And then we went back to our house to get ready. We got all of our stuff and we walked over to the girls' house. And then we made breakfast. We ate breakfast over there. And then before everything started, we did our
Pilina.
our pilina. We did like a couple oldies every single day, and like one like extra song. Yeah, and then
After we like did our melee of the day and stuff, we got into our cars. What was it? The Royal
cars.
Oh, the Royal Cars. And so we drove over to the Pitt-Rivers Museum, and we like got our coffee. What is the shop called?
Something
Dark
horse.
Horse.
Dark Horse.
Dark Horse
Yeah.
Coffee. And then we went around the back to Marenka's office, and that's when we would be tasked with like what we were doing for the day.
Yeah, and like it was a little different every day. Like we were always switching up the agenda, so there wasn't really like a set routine.
What was like your favorite day and what you did?
Oh, yeah, I actually enjoyed the master class with Dr. Ashley.
Oh, the ivory
The
one.
ivory one. We learned like the different types of ivory that came from like specific animals. And then at the end we had like a test to like if we could distinguish the different ivories. And we obviously won.
Yeah.
Wow.
me and Elle were
Yeah.
a team and we won. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I guess one of my favorite ones were like the photogrammetry with Dr. Imran. It was cool because, so what we learned, or like the fun part of it was there was like a podium and then we had like this stuffed animal. We were just like practicing. So you take pictures, like a bunch of pictures like around the stuffed animal. It was like what, like wasn't it like 2,000?
Yeah, it was a couple
2,000?
Wow.
Like around, but like from different angles. And then you can like turn that into like is it like into a software?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so you can turn it into like a 3D image on like the computer, and like you can like move it around and like see like under, like it's pretty cool. And I guess like we learned how to do that because that's what they do for some museums. So
Oh.
yeah, that was pretty cool.
And then we ended up doing it for some of our artifacts, like your ava bowl he was researching, the poi pounder, and some other
Yeah.
artifacts.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I think my favorite day was when we got to explore the Oxford open days, open house,
Open days.
open days, and it was basically like an opportunity for us to like go into the different colleges that they have, because it's like really different how they run their university. So we got to sit into some of the lectures and like visit the colleges, and that was like really interesting.
On any of these days, did you guys get to see any cool places or landmarks?
We saw
Big
the
Ben,
Big Ben. What
the
is it
London
called?
Eye.
The London Eye, like the Ferris wheel. We saw what is the river? There's the river. I don't know what the river's
The
called.
Thames. Is that what it is?
The Thames? Is it actually called? That's
And then we
crazy.
went on the, what's it called? The Uber boat.
Oh yeah,
and
like
then
they
we
have
saw-
Uber boats. It's a boat, but it's like Uber.
Wow.
And we
That
also
is
went to like 4
interesting.
different museums.
So how would you say learning at Oxford was different than learning like here in Hawaii?
Well, it's just like very different because we got to study in a place that has so much like information, so many like artifacts. So it's kind of like we're getting information right there from the source. Like, and we got to like, well, some of us got to like actually handle like some of the objects we're looking at. And so that's just different. Like you can't get that here. Like you can look at them, you can research them, but you can't like physically hold them and experience that in real life.
We also got to work with actual professionals. Like everyone who we worked with on each subject, like dedicated their life. Like that was like their profession. Like, for example, when Elle was talking about like the ivory, the doctor teaching us that like specialized in ivory research and was like actually in the field and like, you know, like actually specialized in ivory. So that was pretty cool. We also got to learn like what we wanted to learn in a way. I think that was a big point of emphasis. It wasn't like a teacher proctoring us, but like we got to research what we wanted to research.
So can you share a little bit about what you guys were researching and like why it was important to you?
Of course. So I ended up researching, there was this lei hulu. It was a bright yellow lei hulu. It was in like a dim lit case. And on the first day when we first went there, we did our Olis. And like the very first thing we went to was extracting the Hawaiian objects out of its cases for us to like actually handle and look at. And the lei was like one of the very first ones. So obviously that stood out to me. But what also like kind of shocked me, I guess, was that it was in like a case with other like necklaces, but it wasn't like Hawaiian necklaces. I guess that was just like the way like the museum was formatted. So it wasn't like all the Hawaiian stuff was in one place. It was more like necklaces, but there was like a lei and like there was like bowls and then there was like the awa cup in there, you know? So I think that's what originally intrigued me to do more research on the lei. Like why was it, like how did it even get to England or Oxford in the first place? And yeah.
So what I decided to do my research on is an ahu'ula that was in the museum. It was like red, black, and yellow, and it was like really, really beautiful, I guess. And then there was 2 ahu'ula that were held there, and I only researched one, and I specifically researched the diachronic analysis of an ahu'ula's function.
What does that mean?
And it's like basically researching its function past and present. And so what does that mean like for us as Hawaiians, seeing it in there? And then we also learned about like provenance and the importance of it. But yeah, that's what I did my research on.
What is provenance?
Great question. Jaydan?
So provenance is like the written or like documentation of an object's like history. So like kind of like the story behind it is provenance. Yeah. Which kind of brings me into my project, which is
Great segue.
That's-
Great
yeah, that's what
segue.
so I was exploring this ava bowl or this ava cup that said it was from Hawaii or the Sandwich Islands, as it said on the label. And so my presentation was kind of just exploring the authenticity of this object, and it feels really Hawaiian.
What did
That
you
wasn't
find?
the first thing you.
So my like journey of like how I even got to this object was I originally started researching about this Indian turia, or like an Indian trumpet, and I kind of researched that because I used to do band, and so that was kind of interesting. And as I was kind of researching it, it just wasn't like resonating with me, and I was kind of just like over it. So I decided to go back into the gallery and kind of look at something else. And that's when I came across that oval bowl, and it just kind of like stood out to me. From what I researched and what I concluded, the oval bowl was not Hawaiian, just based on like its shape and like where it came from, the lack of provenance, and like the craftsmanship behind it.
So, within that research and just like while you were away in general, how did that like make you reflect on your Hawaiian identity?
So when I was doing my research on my lei, I found out that it was tied to Princess Ku'iulani. And apparently, I didn't know, but like how significant of a figure Princess Ku'iulani was in our history. So I didn't know like she actually lived in England for like 7 or 8 years to go to school. She also was like the heir apparent to the throne. So right after, I think, Queen Liliuokalani. Yeah, and I didn't know all this stuff, but like I learned about it. I learned about Princess Ku'iulani while I was in Oxford. So I mean, like that kind of just like made me reflect on what I was learning at Kamehameha Schools in a way, like as a learner here.
Again, I was researching the ahu'ula, and because it was gifted in a form of reciprocity, which is like both sides get like something out of the trade. And so as I was doing that, I was researching the importance of function and what that means like for us. So what is our function as the next generation of Hawaiians today, and how can we like shape the path for like the next generations? Yeah, so basically just like reflecting on what we should be doing.
So I think for me, like, it just kind of emphasized how important it is that we hold on to like our culture, because even just trying to research about this oval cup, like there wasn't much like about it, or I could even learn about it. And I was talking to Kumaolani, and she says that the oval culture, like as we know, like a lot of it has been lost, and it's kind of just like something that we don't really practice a lot, like in the way that it used to be. And so that just brought the importance of holding on to our culture.
Okay, last question for you guys. What advice would you give to other students who want to study abroad, especially Hawaiian students?
Okay, I'd say take every opportunity that Kamehameha Schools like gives you, because without the opportunities that I got to be a part of, like I would have never like figured out that I wanted to go to school on the East Coast or like travel away from home, like as far as I did. And so I'd say, yeah, just take in every opportunity that you can.
I agree. Take advantage. I feel like just even though if they present an opportunity, just submit your application. Like I feel like there's no harm in submitting, or like at least trying to better yourself, because like we all went on the East Coast trip. We all went on the Oxford trip, and I think didn't you go on another college tour?
Yeah, I went to the Colorado one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that in itself is just shows how many opportunities that we're blessed with from Kamehameha Schools, and I think it's in our best interest to take every opportunity we get.
Yeah, kind of just like what Damon said, and like just anybody who like plans on like going like what's it called, like out of the U.S.
Abroad.
Like just to abroad, just to do it, because like it's an amazing opportunity, and it's not like as out of reach as some people may think.
That is wonderful advice. Thank you.
Shout
out to Kumu Olani for organizing the trip and being like the lead of it.
Shout out to Dr. Marinka Thompson-Odlum for being our mentor and helping us throughout this journey.
Shout out to Kumu Kalel for being the boy chaperone. And for being a mentor to us.
Yeah. Shout out Miss Zoe. She was like the girl chaperone. She was also very helpful. and helped us. I think we all applied for like the Dartmouth Lion too. So she helped us all with that.
I did as well.
Shout out to Miss Naolin Wong, Mr. Desal. I mean, all the people that
Funded.
Yeah,
put
sponsor
their
it.
energy and effort into the trip, organizing it. I know we're probably missing some names, but thank you all.
Thank you, everybody.
And thank you for being here today on the final episode of Share the Poi. Mahalo, guys.
Thank you.
And
Mahalo.
thank you for watching the last episode of Share the Poi. Mahalo for watching this whole journey. Thank you.